What's going on, guys? Will Blandon. AI technology has changed our lives, I would say for the better in some cases, for the worse in others if it replaced you on a job per se. I've basically, my only skills in life are I've been in the wireless cell phone industry for most of my life. I would say probably 20 years of my life I've been in and out of wireless or communications, cell phones. I go back to the pager day. I go back to the Nextel walkie-talkie days, the first StarTech phone. That's been most of my life. I transitioned in and out of retail. But as the years have progressed, I've learned how to start and build LLCs, corporations, companies. It's been a trial by error thing. And more recent, I've been in and out of the platforms Uber and Lyft for about 7 years. So that's my whole life in a nutshell. But it wasn't until recently that I learned with AI technology. Let's start from the beginning. I was recently introduced, I would say, to AI technology with ChatGPT. During the pandemic, I saw ChatGPT and I was blown away. Mind you, I don't have any real technical skills. I used to sell communications, but I wouldn't even say I'm the most technical person. Oh, and then I left out, obviously, I've been dabbling with YouTube as well for about 7 years. I currently own about 6 YouTube channels, but I would say I only actively post on 5. I don't want to leave that detail out. But with this new introduction of AI technology, like I said, I was introduced to ChatGPT. And of course, lately, Gemini, Claude, the Chinese just came out with DeepSeek. I really haven't played with DeepSeek yet. Well, we got Grok from X, formerly Twitter. And I'm seeing the world I'm seeing a bright light in a way of that an ordinary person, because I consider myself an ordinary individual, actually could build a company that can actually be successful with AI technology. Now, like I said, I've tried doing my own LLCs, corporations. I currently own a corporation now that I set up in Wyoming for my affiliate marketing. You know, I put the links under the videos. Occasionally I get some money. And outside of Uber and Lyft, I rent 2 bedrooms that one of those renters pays me through that by way of PayPal. But recently, that I've been watching AI technology from the pandemic to now. Literally, the time just blew by. 2020 to 2025. I can only imagine, think about how technology is already advanced. Already. We're talking about possibly AI taking over rideshare in the next 5 years. Just imagine in 5 years how just having a subscription to ChatGPT, for example, could build your own online business. Now, recently I was talking about starting either a software or a transportation company. And I realized, thanks to AI technology, I could do both. But I need to start with what's going to get me the most corporate credit, business credit, the most funding possible in the future. I could possibly sell it later. I could take on investors later. I could raise money later. So that eliminated just doing an LLC. And I need a low risk code, which a software publisher is probably literally one of the most low risk codes. When I say codes, I'm talking about NAICS code that you can possibly do, where transportation is going to be higher risk. Even though I was going to go with taxi and delivery, it's still higher risk than software publisher. Now here's the problem. When people create companies, they often go with a neutral code, which is smart in some cases because it's low risk. But here's why a neutral code like business services or management doesn't really help you as much as software publisher. When you go to a bank and you show them your corporation paperwork for the first time and you're about to open an account and they see that you do management, or you took the code, the NAICS code of management or business services, they still ask you, what do you do? And if you tell them something like media or something different, and then you go to another bank and you tell them, oh, I do something different, like I do transportation, they tend to put you in a different code at each bank. You want every bank to put you in a category at every bank. So when they run your business credit, you're in one category. That's why I say don't pick business services or management, pick software publisher, because that's going to be a category in pretty much every bank. And it's going to be lower risk than, say, even YouTube or media. I don't even think they're going to have a listing for like a media company. Or if you just do YouTube. Even if you just do YouTube, say software publisher. Get a license for software publisher. The reason for the license, it's going to help you later on the credit building side, later. Now, let's say you have no experience in how do I go about being a software publisher. AI technology, whether you're doing media, YouTube, or you actually want to take ChatGPT and build an online business that shows companies how to do content creation, market themselves using AI technology. You could put it all under the same category. It's low risk. And anything in software technology is going to get you the most corporate and business credit down the line. Guaranteed. But the beauty about the integrating real technology like ChatGPT, you can go to the bank and be like, yeah, we're starting our own technology using, and they ask you how many experience, you don't even need experience, because the AI technology helps you build the business. And as you're learning this stuff, you could be like, yeah, I have the experience. If they want to see media or your work as it progresses, you should be on all the social media platforms. AI can help you with that. Like I'm using Opus Clips, that's using AI technology for that, for the clips. There's so many AI tools that help you market yourself. But like a subscription to ChatGPT, you literally could go in ChatGPT now. I think it's at least a $20 subscription model. And just, even a free one could do this, but it's going to limit you on characters. You literally could go to any of these AI models, Grok, any of them. Grok 3 does this too, and be like, help me build a AI software business that can help content creators or business owners market their business. That could be your whole business model. And that will be enough for banks to be like, okay, we got it. And then giving them a business license. Even if you don't, most states you don't even require a business license. I say get it anyway. There's companies that manufacture one anyway. You're not going to be required to have a business license to open your account and all that stuff. But I say it makes you look bigger to the banks when you furnish that. And this is going to be a traditional C Corp Inc. And I'm not a tax guy, but I understand it's double taxation. But a traditional Inc. is needed if you're going to raise money. You will better get funding with an LLC. I understand that. But this is going to be your main company to start with, your holding company. Because this is where you're going to get all the funding from. Later on, what you're going to do is establish LLCs under this company. Once you got funding, you got money, you're going to establish different LLCs under this company for what you actually, your passion is. Say you want to open a barbershop. You want to do a transportation company. Those will be separate LLCs owned by the main holding company, which is the software company that is marketing. So it's going to help you market each individual company. But you don't want to go in a bank and just be like, yeah, we're a marketing company, or we're just a consulting company. Boring, and it won't get you as much funding. You see what I'm saying? By saying software or technology, banks know that that's the future. Especially when you have all your ducks in line, like you got your website promoting it, you got your media going, you got your business cards, you got all your paperwork in order. And I wouldn't even start with the major banks. I would start with like a online bank, because they don't require you to have a minimum amount of money in the bank. I would start with like Novo or one of these online banks, because literally you can start by just dropping $100 in there until you get funding and make some money. Once you establish yourself, you made a couple dollars using the AI technology tools. It's going to show you how to market your business. It's going to show you how to make money. Go to prospects. You can even fund this with gig economy now. This is the part nobody's not telling you. You could go to some delivery companies. We're not just talking Uber and Lyft, because Uber and Lyft are probably going to be the hardest, because they want you to be under a certain code, which is usually transportation or something to that effect. Don't worry about Uber and Lyft. Go to one of these delivery companies. They don't care what your code is. They will send the check to your business. You can even do it in your name in the beginning and then transition later. After you got like 4 to 5, say, gig companies paying you, that's what you can live on. And you can also funnel this money into your business account by way of cash at first. And then once you can get these companies to directly deposit the money into your business account, do that. After you made some money, enough where you got at least 4 to 5 grand a month going in your business account, now you can set up the individual sub LLCs. If you have an actual thing you got in mind, like let's just say you want to open a barbershop, open a separate LLC for your barbershop, but make it owned by Company A, the corporation, because when you go for funding, guess what? They're going to give you more money. You're going to be like, yeah, we're opening up a brand new business that we're going to own. Or make it look really good and be like, yeah, we're going to purchase this barbershop. After you set it all up, be like, yeah, we're going to purchase this barbershop under our company, and we need 20,000, 50,000. The banks will give you the money because you're already established, you're already making money. They want to give you more corporate credit. They could put the money right into your main company, your holding company, and then from there you can funnel down what you need to your individual company you want to start. So say the bank gives you 50,000 and you know the barbershop only need 10 to start it, funnel down that 10 or loan the 10 to your LLC. This is something anybody could do. And the beauty part about it is you don't need a coach. AI technology is your coach. But I'm going to recommend you go to people on YouTube like myself. I even have a free platform where I'm going to be putting videos like this, coaching you on the steps you got to take. As I'm growing my businesses, and I'm still growing. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I currently have a corporation for my affiliate stuff and Navy Federal, but I'm starting a new corporation because I want to raise money and I may want to sell it or take on investors in the future. What made me change my mind about the transportation side is probably this video I saw, believe it or not, by Bandman Kevo. I'll link the video below if you want to see it. But it was a video that Bandman Kevo did where he interviewed on his podcast a guy called Derek Whitehead. One of my viewers actually told me Derek does he goes online and does some stuff every Wednesday or something. Or he does a Zoom every Wednesday. So I'm probably going to try to check that out. Thank you for the info, by the way, if you know who you are. So Derek Whitehead goes down and breaks down why it should be a C Corp. He breaks it down better than I do, in more detail, and why C Corps are better for raising money than LLCs. He goes by how you need to have all your ducks in line. Now, before you go set up the corporation, and I recommend you go with a filing company like InkFile, which I think they're called something else. They're called BizE or something, some weird name. I don't know why they changed their name, but it's BizE by InkFile. Before you do that, there's things you gotta have set up in place first. I don't know why everybody makes this mistake. Everybody, when they go to set up an LLC, they go set up the LLC first. Wrong. First, you need a neutral name that nobody's using it. I got one. You know for a fact nobody's using the name because it's made up. Or some Greek god or something that nobody's using. Don't use a common Greek name like Zeus, but some Greek god nobody's heard of, or something African name nobody's using that's easy to spell. Something to that effect, nobody's using, but it's neutral. It doesn't mean anything. That's the best way to start with the business name. So you got the name you want to use. You don't need to DBA it. You know for a fact it's not used. You can even go online and check just to be sure. Come up with different variations of that name. Like the name Business Second. Like I got the name Chania. Believe it or not, Chania was used, but because I have a variation, Chania Business, on one of my YouTube channels, it's not used. And Chania is just some African name for wealthy. See what I'm saying? That's one example. Don't use your real name. Don't use your last name. You want to make sure it's different from you. You might sell this company later. It's going to be more valuable because guess what? It owns sub companies or baby companies. You're still going to control all these companies. You know, even if you go public, if you set it up right, you're still going to control these companies. Even if you sell it, you want to position yourself where you're still a director in the company, or you have some say in how it's run. Or even better, what I would do, if I set up this company, it gets successful, I'm able to sell it, I would sell the company with the intent that I'm also an officer, the CEO, so I still able to run it for the investors. Sometimes they want that. And I still get a paycheck. See what I'm saying? And then all the sub companies you put in place, people under you to run each individual company underneath that. But before I jump the gun, David Whitehead, like I said, he breaks down in details how to structure your corporation with Bam and Kevo, how to build it out, but he's leaving out that AI technology could actually help you build it. AI technology, like I said, you can get ChatGPT, the $20 one, and literally it'll help you market your business, help you come up with ideas, and with a couple more AI tools, you can have a media marketing company, you can have a AI consulting company, you could have a media company that literally the AI does all the work, gives you all the ideas for the scripts. You know, you might need 1 or 2 employees in the future. You could literally, my goal is to set this all up so maybe I have 1 or 2 employees doing the physical work, but that's it. And then even later, I would set up the transportation company. I'll fund all that money into the main company first, but later I'll do a sub company for transportation. And I may have 1 or 2 drivers doing that. You know, and the company, corporate credit, is going to buy the cars for that. It's going to buy maybe a vehicle where I just drive around and do videos like this. I see the future as so bright thanks to AI technology, but between this guy, Circle of Greatness, he has a channel called Circle of Greatness, one of David Shan's friends, he had a AI specialist on his podcast. That's why I was like, and I listened to that video. I might list that one under here too. Great video. When I listened to these 2 videos combined, I was like, yo, I have everything I need to create a perfect online business for the holding company. It's low risk. Later, you might want to do a higher risk business under it, you know, but it's separate. So, you know, the lawsuits are going to go in order if something happens. And I could possibly sell the company later or just take on investors, and the value will be even greater because it has these sub companies under it. Literally, you could set this up too and just buy smaller companies where you don't even have to set them up. But when I watch these 2 videos, guys, that's why I say YouTube could teach you a lot. YouTube is amazing if you follow the right people. There's a million videos about ChatGPT as far as how to go about the AI prompts to get the right response you want. But now you can do your own AI chatbot. I think if you do the $20 or the $200 model, it'll be to the point where if you do the $200 model on ChatGPT, it'll actually give you agents. where the online agents will go out and do most of the online work for you. It's crazy. They give you better images now. AI technology is definitely the future. If you don't have a company that you're not considering incorporating AI technology, you're going to be left behind. I'm telling you now. I'm 54 years old, and I know more about AI technology than most 20-year-olds that I pick up in the car when I'm doing Uber and Lyft. You know how I know? I ask. I straight up ask them. I was like, especially when they're still on, if they're in college. I asked a lot of the college kids. I was like, what do you know about AI technology? And a few of them, they know enough. They know beginning level stuff, but they don't know that they could literally get together a group of 3 college students and build an entire business. They don't know. It's crazy that they don't know this. And it's like I'm blown away by the fact that they don't know that. Especially when they're software engineers. There's a software engineer probably being laid off right now. There's probably people in Silicon Valley being laid off right now with all this AI technology out there. I'm even thinking about later on, once I make some money, hiring somebody with more experience than me to take it to the next level. Think about it. Your chief technology officer could be somebody that just came out of college and knows more about AI technology than you do, is willing to take a reasonable salary, and grow with the company. Now you have your chief technology officer. You want to have employees down the line. You want to create 401ks, But if I live long enough, guys, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in 5 years. Most Uber drivers like myself, Uber and Lyft drivers, are sitting there crying about how AI is going to take over the rideshare business in 5 years. Guess what? I'm not crying. I'm not upset, because I'm using AI technology as my plan B, C, D. The future looks bright with AI technology as my partner. I want to thank you guys for your continued support. I know my videos ain't always that great, but once I start incorporating more AI tools, the videos are going to get better. The views are going to go up. Look what I did already. I don't get a lot of views, but look what I did already with the channels I have. Just imagine when I start incorporating better AI tools. I'll get more views, more likes. People are going to want to watch more. People are going to want more content. It's to the point where I remember you used to have to go to Fiverr. If some of you old heads, you used to have to go to Fiverr and hire people to do your web design. You don't have to do that anymore. Now, I'll give you briefly what David Whitehead was talking about. He left out. Before you go set up your LLC, the things you should be thinking about, because I kind of left that out. I'll backtrack. You should have the business name. You should set up a 1-800 number. Purchase a 1-800 number service that links back to your cell phone for your business phone number. You should have a website. Basic website at best. You really don't have to have anything elaborate. But have a website. dedicated to your domain with your email to match. Such and such doing business at. Your email should match. And you should have a real business address. This is probably the number one thing that people get wrong. iPostal is not a physical address. It's a virtual address. The difference is a virtual address will work for your business for some business funding, but not all. I'm going to tell you that right now. iPostal will not work for all business funding because they want to see a physical business address. It's virtual in the sense that you have a business address and they'll forward your mail to you. They want to see like a Regis. And the reason why they like companies like Regis, there's some other ones similar to Regis. You could go to Regis and physically rent an office. So it's an office building. So when they Google map it, they see it's a real office building. And if you need to do a meeting, you can actually rent a space for a day. Some of these online banks, they want to see a real office. You can go rent at Regis an office space for one day. Put your sign with your logo and everything on it and videotape you going into the office. You could videotape the meeting room. You can rent out for the day the meeting room. Do video content in the meeting room discussing business. Now, I'm not a tax professional, but that's a write-off. ChatGPT will be a write-off. All these AI tools will be a write-off to your business. So you can write these things off, but I'm going to recommend you write off as little as possible the first year because you want to show that you're making money. That's going to get you more funding. So pay the tax guy whatever percentage you got to pay. Your only employee for the first year, I would say, should just be you. So you're only going to have double taxation on just yourself. And while you do want to pay yourself, I think you should want to pay yourself. It looks better because you have one employee. And then later you're already in the system. So when you add employees, it's simply onboarding each person. You don't have to do it maybe the first, I would say at least the first, after like 6 months you've been in business, start doing payroll for yourself, which that's easy now. And it's a tax write-off fee as well. There's online companies, ADP, you know. There's companies that track your expenses. There's apps that track all your expenses. And they integrate right into your tax stuff. Hey, that's all use AI too. So this stuff, excuse me, this stuff is only going to get easier, better. Like I said, I'm the only Uber driver that I know is not like, oh my God, what am I going to do in 5 years? I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all because I can still have a transportation company doing deliveries. I can still have a limo company in 5. Not everybody's going to be getting in these cars in 5 years. A lot of people are, but not everybody. So you can still do your own limousine business, taxi service. But deliveries is going to be big for I would say probably the next 10 years before they start automating that. But because you have a AI consulting marketing company, you could go to these companies and teach them how to automate their business with AI technology. You see where I'm going with this stuff? AI is the future. You know, if I'm 54 and you're watching me and I know more about AI technology than you're going to get left behind if you don't get on it now. And you can start today. Literally, just go to YouTube, type in AI technology, and start getting your online education for free. For free, guys. Thank you for your time, support, subscribe, like, comment, and let me know you want to see more videos like this, and I will definitely do more. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.